saw that.
if you can tell. Sheena.
Okay. You all set, Maggie? The meeting will come to order. Before we start, we'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please, led by Commissioner Osina.
Everyone please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good afternoon. The following matters will come before the Revere License Commission today. This is our regularly scheduled meeting. The meeting has been previously filed with the city clerk. The initial items on the agenda will be the applications submitted for consideration. Item number 1, Triangle Pro, Inc., DBA Billy C., 441 Revere Street. Jin Fang Wang is the manager. This is an application for a change of DBA. The application of Triangle Pro, Inc., DBA Billy C., from a change of DBA Billy C. Is there someone here from Triangle Pro? Good afternoon, sir. Your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Wang.
Can you just press the button and turn on the microphone? Thank you.
Hi, yeah, my name's Wang. I'm one of the owners at the restaurant.
Very good. Can you explain briefly what you'd like to change and what will be changing?
Yeah, so we plan on changing the sign outside the restaurant. It's a bit old, so we wanted to remodel it.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, I have no questions.
Neither do I.
Very good. I'll stop this part of the hearing and ask, are there any proponents? Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the change of DBA from Billy T's to Billy C's? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the name change? I don't see or hear anybody opposed. We'll close that section.
Thank you.
Do any of my fellow commissioners have any discussions, or would you like to make a motion?
I have no questions, and I understand the sushi bar is doing very well. I haven't been in there yet, but I have no questions. And if there are none, I will make a motion to approve.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The application for a change of DBA is approved. The application of Triangle Pro, Inc., DBA Billy C., for a change of DBA from Billy C's. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Item number 2, 99 West LLC, DBA 99 Restaurant and Pub, 121 VFW Parkway. Alan Kerr is the manager. This is an application for a change of manager. The application of 99 West LLC, DBA 99 Restaurant and Pub, Alan Kerr, manager, for a change of manager from William Butts. Is there someone here on behalf of 99 West LLC?
Yes, hi, my name is Alan Kerr.
Thank you very much, sir. Your name and address for the record?
I live on 10 Hillcrest Circle in Swampscott, Mass.
Very good. Can you explain briefly what your plans are for the change of manager? And
Yeah,
what
well, we have a new general manager who's not a citizen, is not able to put his name on the liquor license, so as an operations director, our usual fallback is put it on the operations director's name.
Okay. Will you be spending your time at this location?
Well, I'm on call 24/7. I usually spend 10 hours a week, about 40 hours a month.
At this particular location?
Yep, I have 7 restaurants that I oversee.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any question for Mr. Kerr?
I don't have any. I've gone over the application. Looks like everything's in order. So no, I have no questions.
And you asked my question. I was going to ask him how involved would he be in the day-to-day, so I'm satisfied with his response. I have no further questions.
Very good. We'll close this section. Are there any proponents? Is anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the change of manager at the 99? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the change of manager? We don't see or hear anybody there. We'll close that part. Open it up to a general discussion and/or a motion.
Again,
I'd move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Very good. The application for a change of manager of 99 West LLC, DBA 99 Restaurant and Pub, to Alan Kerr from William Butts is approved. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Item number 3, Cafeteria Las Delicias Colombianas, Inc., 86 Shirley Ave. Marie Arango is the manager. This is an application for a change of manager, change of officers, directors, and a transfer of stock. The application of Cafeteria Las Delicias Colombianas, Inc., for a change of manager from North Cordero to Maria Arango, and a change of officers, directors, and a transfer of stock. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Ravenel. I represent the applicant, 160 Gould Street, Needham.
Very good, sir. Can you explain briefly what you would like to change, and we'll go from there.
Yes. So Maria Arango had been a co-owner of the business, and she recently became a U.S. citizen. So now she would like to be named as the manager, and also acquire the remaining shares of the business to become 100% owner, and also become the sole officer of the business.
Okay, thank you very much. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, I have no
Is that Maria?
Yes.
Congratulations on your citizenship.
questions.
How long have you been a part of the business?
14 years ago.
God bless you.
Yeah.
I have no further questions.
Very good. We will close that section. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the change of manager, change of officers, director, and transfer of stock? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to this transfer and change of manager? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. General discussion and/or a motion.
I'd move to approve the application.
I'll second the motion.
Very good. The application for a change of manager, change of officers, director, and transfer of stock from North Cordero to Maria Arango is approved. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Item number 4, Diana Cardonia, 250 Revere Street. This is a event manager. This is a application for 2 one-day malt wine and entertainment licenses. The application of Diana Cardonia for 2 one-day licenses for malt wine and entertainment. Said license to be exercised at St. Anthony's of Padua Church. The first event will be on Saturday, September 10th, 2022, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., and will be a Colombian gala showcasing folklore of the country. The second event will be on Saturday, 9/24/22, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., and will be a comedy show from Colombia with singers and dancers. The expected attendance at both events is 300. Name and address for the record, please.
Diana Cardona, 23 Harrington Street, Riviera.
Very good. Can you explain briefly what you'd like to do with these licenses?
Yes, I would like to be able to serve some kind of soft alcohol there during the event. And the entertainment part is for kind of showcasing the culture. We were not able to do like this gala that we were about to do after the Colombian Independence Day, July 20th. So we moved it to September 10th. So we will be able to do this gala for this year. Since the pandemic, we haven't been able to do it. So this is like a big moment for the Colombians in Riviera then maybe we can gather together to show some culture and some new artists that are coming out, so we can help them out so they can promote themselves as well.
Thank you very much. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I just have a couple of questions. You're expecting maybe 300. Will you be selling tickets to this event, or
We're gonna be selling a few tickets, yes.
So-
And
will you be selling them at the door, or is this going to be prepaid tickets?
this is gonna be some prepaid tickets, people who actually order them online, and some of them, they consider tickets, but we're giving, the first gala that we did in the 2018, we're inviting the award people, because we're gonna have 12 people who are gonna get awards for being, representing Colombian. So basically, through these people is that we're gonna be selling the tickets. And we're expecting about 300. If the case come, then maybe they come a little more. We're planning that maybe we can get a police detail just in case.
I'm just not sure about the occupancy in the function hall downstairs. It may be 300, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I spoke to Marianne over there, one of the
Yes.
managers, and she told me that it was a little more than that, if it's possible. I mean, if he needs to. That it was about between 400 to 500. So I was like maybe aiming for 300 if they come, because we're gonna serve dinner too. The dinner is gonna be included, and it's gonna be a Colombian typical plate.
Okay, but you're going to be using the dance floor also,
But yes,
is that
yes.
correct? And a comedy show.
And the comedy show. The comedy show is gonna be more like a sitting, like the theater kind of type. It's not gonna be like food included there. In the gala, yes, because it's gonna be the dinner included. But in the comedy show, it's gonna be just people looking at the. We have one dancer, and we have one singer, and then we have the comedy show. That is gonna be about an hour and a half. Their show
Okay,
for the 24th. That's the September 24th.
okay. I would just like to state at this time, I was the prefect at St. Anthony's Church, but I don't think there's any conflict of me voting on this
Yeah.
today.
And the type of dances there is mostly like folkloric and typical from Colombia. It's not gonna be like a crazy dances like that. No,
Right.
it's gonna be more because families are gonna be invited, so it's not like gonna be like crazy dancing.
I'm very familiar with the functions there,
No.
and it's a wonderful place to have it. So I'll hear what my
I was gonna ask
colleagues
you,
have to
so
say.
this is most certainly taking place inside and not outside, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be inside everything. Yes.
Because I was gonna ask, how do you plan to, manage the alcohol distribution, and where would the police detail be if you decide to have it?
Absolutely. If just in case that happens, he's gonna. I mean, he can be at the entrance. We have also an organization that we're partners with, and we have about 12 to 15 volunteers that are gonna be around the area, just standing out, looking, helping others. And also, we're gonna have checking IDs for the people who purchase or get, and they're gonna have some color bracelets for the people who do that. So.
Okay, I just have one more question. Speaking of Mary Ann, will she be the caterer at this function, or are you bringing in the food?
We're bringing in the food, yes.
Oh, okay, so you have an outdoor caterer. Okay,
It's like a catering person from Colombia that is gonna be showing. The idea is she's gonna showcase her talent too.
all right. No, I was just concerned about the kitchen there, but that's fine.
Oh yeah, she's bringing everything, yes.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Very good. I see from your alcohol control sheet that you are going to have a police detail. You're going to have 8 to 10 volunteers, color bracelets, and you're only serving soft sangria.
Yes, it's gonna be like a soft sangria. It's very soft.
Very good.
Tastes good.
Okay. I have no further questions. We'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf? Yes, Counselor. Name and address, please.
Good evening, Commissioners. Anthony Cogliandro, 105 Newman Street. I just want to show my support for this event, as my business also utilizes downstairs. It's a very wide open area, would be very easy to manage for security purposes. They're going to have the detail. I just have one question. Is it open to all ages, or is it 21 plus, or? It's open to all ages. Just from a security standpoint, I think they're going to be fine with all those volunteers, so just want to show my support for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Is there anybody else? Are there any other proponents? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close this section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the one-day malt wine and entertainment licenses? Don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that part of the hearing. General discussion and/or motions.
Well, I think it's a great thing for the city. Looking forward to it. I may pop in. But if there are no other questions, I would make a motion to approve.
Yes, are very welcome.
I will second that motion. The application for 2 one-day malt wine and entertainment licenses is approved. The application of Diana Cardonia for the one-day licenses to be exercised at St. Anthony's Church. The first event will be on Saturday, September 10th, 2022, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. with a Colombian gala showcasing folklore of the country. And the second event will be on September 24th, 2022, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And that'll be a comedy show from Colombia with singers and dancers. Thank you very much. Good luck with your event.
Thank you very much.
Item number 5. Kenneth G. LaFosse, DBA Brothers Auto Body, 16 Naples Road. Kenneth G. LaFosse is the manager. This is an application for a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer's license. The application of Kenneth G. LaFosse, DBA Brothers Auto Body, for a Class 2 motor vehicle license to be exercised at 16 Naples Road. The requested hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The requested number of cars for sale is 2. This is a item that's been continued from our last meeting. Is there someone here from Brothers Auto Body?
Good
Yes,
afternoon,
sir.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Edward J. Lonigan. I'm an attorney, 89R Bass Point Road in Nahant. I'm joined by my associate, Michael LeBlanc. We're here on behalf of the applicant, and we're submitting to your attention 17 exhibits that I hope will help you in your deliberations with respect to this application. As you know,
These are submissions from the applicant.
This is not what's in our packet, right?
No. All right, very good, sir. You may continue while we, if you don't mind, while we
no,
look at this.
absolutely, and I'll be going through it if you don't mind to.
Sure,
give
whatever
it-
you'd like to highlight, feel free.
Okay. But the, first, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. It's, and I apologize for the number of continuances that we requested, but that was related to our effort to try to resolve the outstanding citations that are in the district court. And as of last week, we had a very substantial change in the circumstance. 30 of those citations have been voluntarily dismissed substantively by the city. We had filed a motion to dismiss with 6 bases for this dismissal. 49 are being objected to and retained on the basis that they were not timely filed. And we object to that, and that's being litigated in the court because we have records of, in fact, having complied. But we're here today with at least being able to say to you that the outstanding citations are procedural in nature. There's no substantive violation. And we submit there never was a substantive violation at these premises, and part of the exhibits will show you why. And that's why we had hoped to have it all resolved when we came before you. So that's why we were requesting the continuances. But we're here today, and we're hoping that Mr. LaFauci can get a fresh start and start anew. This process began in October 2016, when this commission held a hearing at the request of the state police. And there was an excellent presentation by Lawrence Simone, attorney. And it was clear, if you look at the tape, that there was going to be no basis for revoking his license. But then 2 weeks later, a representative of the fire department presented at the premises 16 Naples Road and issued an order. And that order, which is based on Chapter 148, which is a fire prevention statute, ordered the installation of a fire alarm. That was issued to Mr. LaFauci, who was a tenant in one half of the building, did not own the building. And we claim that was of no validity at the time. But then it sat for 2 years. One of the things that I noticed in your hearings, that there were no neighbors ever in opposition. There was no particular opposition to Mr. LaFauci from his neighborhood. Also, one member of this commission noted that he runs a wonderful business, and that commission member had never heard a negative word about him. Part of the exhibits that we've submitted to you today, the first is a very gracious letter of support from the Council of Rizzo. The second is a petition signed by 81 residents of the Revere, in and around Revere. The third is a petition of 6 neighbors, immediate neighbors, asking that the Clear Channel parcel be used for parking during the day and that it benefits the neighborhood. The next exhibit is a certificate of occupancy, and that's important to know that in 1989, when this building was built, a certificate of occupancy was issued for use as an auto body throughout the building. That means that the building complied with all applicable codes. Nothing of note happened to that building from 1989 to 2016. The next exhibit is evidence of registration of Warren's Auto Body and Brothers Auto Body with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's significant because the tenant on the lower level was Warren's Auto Body. The tenant on the upper level was Brothers Auto Body. So when an order of notice was issued on November 8th, it was issued to Mr. LaFauci, a tenant of one half the property, not to the owner. You then received a transmission, which is Exhibit 6, an email transmission. And that is an interesting document because it exhibits how Mr. LaFauci cooperated with the representative of the fire department, showed him the premises, showed him his licenses, and agreed to cooperate. It also showed that Warren's was not examined because he was not there. This will become more relevant as we proceed. So nothing then happened from 2016 on. You had your follow-up meeting in November of 2016. You found no cause to revoke the license. You did mention fire violations, and then you moved on. In August of 2018, KKLN, which is the LaFauci family, purchased the property. 2 weeks later, citations started to flow, and they started on September 4th. And they continued through 2020, I believe, for a total of 78 citations. In December of 2018, the representative of the fire department appeared before this commission. And I want to go over the language that he used. Exhibit 13. He said his first encounter with Mr. LaFauci was when I got a call from the Insurance Fraud Bureau about a vehicle that was being worked on the property for an unlicensed body shop in an unlicensed repair shop. Come to find out, Mr. LaFauci was renting to Warren's Auto Body in the basement of his property. Warren's Auto Body was an unlicensed repair shop. So I went there with the building inspector. We did an inspection. We discussed the discontinuance of the operation of Warren's Auto Body. Mr. LaFauci agreed to that and said he would extend his business into the basement and take over the entire building. So I ordered him to bring the place up to code where he was going to expand the business. None of that is accurate. I presume the representative was confused, had a different property. Juan's auto body was registered, is registered, and is there today. So there's been no change. So but the reason that the fire department had to come up with this rationale, because there was no basis for the order. So this was an attempt to come up with justification that is not accurate. And we contested that in the district court. And as I said, 30 of the citations have been set aside. Our motion to dismiss had several bases for it. Just for your information, another reason the order was not of any effect, it was based on Section 410.482 of the State Sanitary Code. And if you read that section, it specifically refers to dwellings. And that is the section when you sell your house and you have to get a smoke certificate, that's what that section is. It has nothing to do with the commercial property. So that, again, that was another reason that it was not valid. We had a hearing in 2020 in front of the municipal hearing officer, and he denied our applications for 20 citations. And then a year and a half later, he filed another decision on 3 identical citations, which he dismissed as having no evidence to support them. We obviously appealed that. We went to the district court. We have submitted to you the memorandum that we submitted in support of our motion to dismiss. And the city, as I said, has, as of last week, dismissed an additional 27 items. So that entire misdirection is unfortunate. I'm quite proud to represent Mr. LaFosse and be here today. I've come to know him. I've even become a customer. So I think that he's a good man. I think he's been through a lot. He spent $50,000 in an effort to be compliant. Not in compliance, but compliant. And if you recall, Mr. Kelly, who was a former inspector for the Inspectional Services Department in Revere, he appeared, testified, and it was he who counseled Mr. LaFosse, and he said he had confirmed with state authorities that the fire alarm was not necessary. But he advised him to go along, to get along. And so that's what he did. So he spent $50,000 to do something to go along, and then it didn't help. So he's been through a lot. He spent a lot of extra money. He's a good man. He has a 35-year history. The incident with the state police, at worst, was an aberration. He has no record of being a bad guy. He has no consumer complaints. People stand behind him. So I would hope that in your wisdom and in your judgment that you would give him another opportunity. And I will tell you that in the future, both I and Mr. LeBlanc will be available at any time for any issues whatsoever to be sure that there's compliance with both the spirit and the letter of various codes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I do. Counsel, would you care to comment on the application that was submitted to the RMV to renew the dealer license that was expired in February of 2020?
I'm sorry.
Were you aware that an application was submitted on behalf of your client for a renewal of his dealer plates in February of 2020?
I believe that was denied, wasn't it?
The application?
Yeah.
Correct. However, there's some concerns about the application itself. Are you aware of the incident?
No, I didn't know of any concerns.
Okay. And what about the outstanding taxes at this point?
There were no outstanding taxes, it was just the fines. And with respect to the fines, if they are upheld, they're liens on the property, so there's no question of collection. There's no, the city's not exposed. And I also think the fact that they have admitted there's no substance to the claims, there's an element of fairness that hopefully sometime, and maybe we'll reach out to the mayor's office or somebody in the decision-making process to review this and be fair.
Counsel, when was the issue with the? Because I'm talking about the real estate taxes.
Real estate taxes, to the best of my knowledge, are paid, not current.
As of when?
They're paid currently. He has a mortgage, so they're always current. There are no tax problems that I know of.
Council, if I could pass you the statement of account from the city of Revere dated July 7th. It still shows an outstanding balance of 32,000.
That's the citations.
So,
Citation.
so was that resolved?
No, that's,
It's line item?
those are not real estate taxes. Those are liens associated with the citations.
Oh, that's the lien.
But the tax lien, no, it's not, I don't believe that's associated with the citation. It's my understanding that's associated with the real estate tax.
That's my understanding as well.
The outstanding violations are approximately $28,000.
Correct. 24,000. Well, I mean, yeah, 28,104. And then when you tap on interest and everything else, it's around 32,000.
Right. But those are related to the tax title, related to the citations. So
That-
all, not real estate taxes.
Okay. So those are related to the citations. And just refresh my recollection on what's your argument on the citations? What happened with the citations? I know that a few of them got dismissed, right?
A few of them, almost 30.
Almost 30.
Yeah, and the ones that are still outstanding are procedurally. They're saying that we were late in filing, but we have evidence. If you look at the Exhibit 12, there's a list of the days within which various appeals were filed, and most of them were filed well within the 21 days. And those that weren't, we have evidence from, under an affidavit, uncontested affidavit from Mr. LaFauci, that they were filed as soon as he received notice of them. So that is our legal argument, and that's before the district court at the moment.
I have one more question. I just quickly.
There's interest. Commissioner, were
I'll
you
just defer
looking
you
at
for
this
now.
report?
Okay. Okay, well, according to the records that we're looking at, it indicates that he owes the city $32,000 in back property taxes. The other issue, as Commissioner Osina talked about, is the issue of attempting to apply for a dealer's license fraudulently by changing the dates on the application. There's also allegations from the state, actually there's convictions from the state police dealing with altering of vehicle identification numbers, of which he was found guilty and sentenced to jail. There's also a conviction for inspection sticker violations, again, which he was found guilty. So these matters go directly to your credibility and your ability to be a reputable car dealer. If you're changing VIN numbers, if you're changing inspection stickers, that is cause for concern, and our job as commissioners is to protect the public from these things.
We violently object to the fact of what the actions of the state police. We believe that were vindictive and unjustified. The conviction obviously stands. However, our position is you have to look at the entire 35-year history of this gentleman and the number of people who have spoken on his behalf and the number of experiences that he's had. That activity, at its worst, as I said, was an aberration. That's not the man that's seeking the permission. That's not the man that's been running that business.
Well, I mean, the record would say otherwise. And as far as your petition goes, and looking at the people who signed the petition, it appears that most of them are from outside Revere. You have people from Stoneham, Winthrop, Framingham, Winthrop, Malden, Lynn, Wakefield, Reading. These people are not people who are knowledgeable of the community and what is going on there.
Well, certainly the counselor is,
The counselor,
Counselor Rizzo,
okay.
and he has a very strong
Counselor
statement of.
Rizzo, I'll read his statement if you'd like.
No, I think
Okay.
he's got a very, very strong statement.
He certainly did.
And the people that signed those are people who have interacted with him and have been impressed. And the fact that they're not from Revere doesn't mean that they're not customers. They come into Revere, they spend their money. The places it employs people is, it's not, he is not an evil man. And even if that case where it had some merit, he's paid a price, a dear, dear price. He hasn't had a license for several years. He put a $50,000 sprinkler system in that he didn't have to. He's hired 10 different lawyers. He's had to go through an extended process in the district court, and it's over and over. And he hasn't given up because he's a man of character. And he just should deserve your encouragement. And you can watch him and monitor him. And if there's ever another event, obviously that would be, there will not be, but it's not, I'm looking for mercy, I'm looking for temperance, I'm looking for proportion. He's paid a very, very demanding price. He's paid enough. He should be allowed to be restored and conduct the business that he's done well. Done well. And there's something wrong with the way he's been identified, the way this commission sent the fire department to his premises, the way the fire department had to come up with something. And then they continued to citations, 78 citations.
Just
I practiced
as a
law for
matter
50
of-
years and I've never seen it.
Excuse me, but just as a matter of clearing the record, the commission didn't send anybody anywhere. Whoever went there of their own volition because they've got concerns about the way the gentleman keeps the property, parks the vehicles, conducts his business. That's the truth of the matter.
But Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, the email came back to this commission.
Came
Why
back
would
to this
a
commission.
permitting officer send an email to this commission and to the city clerk?
Excuse me,
That's something you'd have to ask
Okay.
him.
excuse me, it is standard practice for the
We get
permitting
emails-
officers
we
to
get
let us
emails
know
all
of
the time
any
about everything.
activities at
Okay.
any licensed business.
I'll say this, so I certainly, when this business and your client first, my first interaction with them was back in 2020. I was unfamiliar with the history. I wasn't very familiar with your client's business. Over the last 2 years, I made it a point for myself to talk to the neighbors, talk to his neighbors, talk to Mario, I talked to Masters Auto next to him. I talked to a couple businesses near there. The Outfitters, the bike place. I took it upon myself to look into the case, the criminal case. I can say for the record, and given the fact that I'm an attorney, I can appreciate, despite his admission of guilt, I don't think his admission tells the whole story there. There were other factors I think played into his willingness to plead guilty at that time. So I'm certainly not gonna kind of hold him to that, at this present time. One thing I can note for the record is that you do have a lot of support in the community from councilmen coming to, in support of this business getting its license and your client moving forward with his life. And in that regard, I am satisfied. I think the only concern that I would like some clarification on is the issue with the taxes. And, I was hoping, at least for the record, there would be some type of explanation as to the application that was submitted to the RMV that appears, and again, this is not a court of law, this is, so appears to have been altered with your client's signature authored underneath. So I'm hoping that I can get some explanation or clarification of that, because that's the only reservations I have.
Can I get a copy of that? Because this is the first I've been hearing this, so I really don't know how to respond. So can I get a copy of the material that you're speaking on?
I mean, I have it in my packet. I'm not sure if I could just give him my copy. Okay. So I'm just going to direct you to, hang on a second, let me just pull it out.
That's the number from Dan, wasn't it?
Right there.
Did you see that?
I believe so.
So I'm gonna give you a complete document, 2 pages. It's a retail deal application for registration. And, that I believe was submitted to R&B at some point in February of 2020.
And the,
Page 2 is probably where I'm really referencing them. And you can see the points of which is at issue. So I'd like to continue to note for the record, this is not, at least for me, that is the only 2 pieces of information that I would like clarification. Even the taxes, according to the law, there's a way for me to get around that, to vote in affirmation or approval of this license, conditioned upon, us getting either some type of agreement with the city or you getting some type of final resolution in district court. So we can put that aside for a second. And again, I'm only 1/3 here, so
Okay.
I'm only speaking for myself. But that application does concern me. And as my fellow commissioner noted, it reflects poorly if this is in fact put forth by your client, a statement as to how he does business, and I hope that's not the case. Again, everyone I've spoken to spoke very highly of your client, very highly. He's been in the community for decades, 3 decades from what I understand.
well, as I said, this is the first I've seen this, and all I will do is I'll report back to the commission as soon as I can.
Very good. We'll close this part of the hearing. Are there any proponents or anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the issuance of this license?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Anthony Cogliandro, 105 Newman Street. Obviously, there's a lot of history here. As a counselor for the area, as a fellow business owner, I'm hoping that someone who's been in the city for 35 years, we can kind of give a fresh start to this person. And I know that's a tall order right now, but, this man has a family, his employees have families, and I would really like to afford him the opportunity to do the right thing. And 30 days come back before the council, the commission, 60 days, 90 days, whatever you guys see fit. He is a good man. I can vouch for that. He's a good man. And if mistakes were made, I think we could all look back in our past as well and say that we made some mistakes too, some bigger mistakes than others, but I believe everybody deserves a chance, and as the counselor said, maybe, give him one final chance. And I believe he opened his statement with, we're here to clear the air and a fresh start, so that's really where I'm coming from. I feel for his business, his employees, and I want to give him an opportunity to thrive. I've seen this commission on multiple occasions give chances to businesses that have been really difficult to handle as far as following rules and regulations. Restaurants, bars, the list goes on. And again, I know that there is a history here, but I really, as the counselor and as a fellow business owner in the city, I ask, give him a chance, even if it's a temporary license, even whatever you decide to do. But again, I am in support of Mr. LaFosse, and I hope you guys can grant him this license today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Counselor. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of any other proponents?
Good evening. My name is Luigi Ciccone. I'm one of Kenny's neighbors. I know Kenny for over 25 years, and like I said, I only know him for he's a good guy. I mean, I understand whatever happened. I heard some of it. I mean, I'm sure everybody makes one mistake in life, So hopefully, this could be worked out. But I'm his neighbor. And he's a great guy. That's all I can really say on my behalf.
Thank you
And I
very
thank
much,
you so
sir.
much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the issuance of this license? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close this section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the issuance of this license? Seeing and hearing none, I will close this section of the hearing. We'll open it up to a general discussion and/or a motion.
Well, I just would like to say I also, I don't really know Kenny, but I will say I was a customer of his many years ago. And I believe what everyone is saying. I mean, it is true. To do business with him, as I did, he backed everything. I bought a car from him, a little Volkswagen convertible many years ago, and every problem, yes, he was there. I think he's a great businessman as far as selling and standing by his cars and what he sells. But I think we're talking two different issues here. I think we agree. I think you're a good guy. I don't know you that well, but I think you're a good guy for the business dealings I've had with you. And I think that most of these people probably had the same experience I did. And anytime I would call you, you were right there. So I do appreciate that. I mean, it was many years ago, but I don't forget. But in saying that, there's two sides of this story. I don't think you as a person is what's in question here. It's some of the paperwork that we have to look at from the courts. So I just want to clear that up. I think as a person, I don't think anyone's questioning that. I don't know that much about car dealing and getting plates and whatnot. You probably know more, but I think it's two different issues here. And I will agree with everyone that says you're a great guy and you do stand by your customers. So I can go by that, and many people have told me the same thing. So I just wanted to clear that up. I think what we're looking at here are just legal transactions that have been given to us.
I would just like to say that, from what I could see of the record, that if this was one incident, okay, everybody deserves a second chance. If this was just two incidents, okay, maybe we can say that people deserve two chances. But this is a history of incidents, from violations. The state police took the time out to come here during one of the hearings and requested specifically that he not be granted a license because of the way he conducts the business. He might be a very nice guy, but unfortunately, the way this business has been conducted, the way that people have, the way crimes have been committed there, would lead me to think that the public needs to be protected from these kinds of businesses. And this is our responsibility as a license commission, is to protect the public from what I would consider to be an unscrupulous business. And that's, that's my feeling on it. And then we get into the tax situation. The altering of documents to the registry, all of that adds up to me to be someone who is not who I would want to buy a used car from. And I think the public needs to be protected from those types of businesses.
I'd say this. I hear my fellow commissioners, but I don't think that this gentleman should be punished into perpetuity either. Here we are in 2022. I think this gentleman, based on what I understand, has cost himself, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think, at this point. And again, the two things that I can note for the record that gives me pause. One, again, I don't know what the explanation is, and counsel says he represented, he hasn't seen it, and he can't offer an explanation at this particular juncture. But I know that with the tax issue, there is a way that we could grant him a conditional license to operate on an interim basis, provided that within a certain time period or a time frame that can satisfy this commission, report back to us on the tax issue, whether it's by agreement that he can enter with the city to clear up this issue, or by providing us some type of conclusion from the district court as it relates to the $32,000 that's in front of us. I understand his history. I understand what is before us, but I also don't feel like this gentleman should be punished into perpetuity. I think that he should be afforded an opportunity in good faith to show that he has changed his business practices. We're in 2022. A lot of these events took place well before I was on the commission. And again, with all due respect to my fellow commissioners that may stand in opposition to my position, I would vote to approve his Class 2 license, conditioned upon the gentleman providing us with some type of proof or evidence that he has entered into some type of agreement with the Department of Taxation here in the city, or that it's been resolved within 90 days, and failure to do so to our satisfaction would immediately revoke the license or revert it back to where it's at now. Again, I'm not sure where that stands in terms of our authority, but I've looked over this thoroughly, and again, my position is I just don't think he should be punished into perpetuity, and that's based on all of the individuals that I've talked to, the councilman that came forward, the councilman that sent in the letter, Dan Rizzo. I've spoken to the neighboring businesses, and they all want to see this gentleman back in business. They want to see him back in business. Even our fellow commissioner had a personal interaction, positive in nature, and I'm not ignoring what the record reflects. I'm not ignoring that. The record is clear as to the gentleman's, I would say, recent history, because we can't ignore that he's been in business for 3 decades, and I'm not sure what happened in the 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s. I just know what happened in 2016 and 2018 and 2020. So that's my position. I'm only 1/3 of this commission. I would vote to approve it on a conditional basis.
Are you making a motion?
I would move to approve it on a conditional basis.
I don't think that's a wise position. I would just think that it's not punishing someone in perpetuity. It is protecting the public. And as you said, 16, 19, 20. We're not talking about ancient history here. We're talking about very recent stuff. And to grant the license for this business with these issues outstanding, the tax issues are not going to be adjudicated in district court. They don't go to district court. District court has got nothing to do with the taxes. So without the tax certificate, without that thing taken care of, in addition to the other issues, I could not support that motion.
The law provides that every party shall be given an opportunity to avoid denial or revocation by entering into a payment agreement that is acceptable to this commission, which the taxes and fees that are regarding the taxes and fees that are delinquent. Okay, and the validity of the license or the permit shall be conditioned upon the satisfactory compliance with such payment agreement. Again, I'm not going to, that's why he has a lawyer. I'm not going to get into that part of the logistics of whether he feels he owes this money or not. But I know the law provides this gentleman a recourse as it relates to this issue with the taxes. So if this is the only thing in my book, and I know you have other things that essentially standing in the way, but I'm just telling you my position. If this is what's standing in his way from getting, at the very minimum, a conditional license, so that he's afforded an opportunity to figure this out with the city and come back before the commission to report it, then I would like to give him that chance. And again, I'm only 1/3. I understand your position, Chairman, and I would await to hear Commissioner Ganasso's vote one way or the other.
Right. I really hate to be put in this position. I see both sides. It's very hard. I'm looking at the side, from doing business with Mr. LaFosse, and I hope I'm correct, we've never gotten a complaint from a customer that has been there. So I guess on my end, I'm looking more at the protection of the people who are doing business with them. And so far, being on the board many years, haven't had any complaints about that. I think it's his doing that is why he's here today. Okay? I don't think his service to the city or any customer that comes there is in question. As far as the taxes, you know, I'd like to see them paid. Again, I don't know much about that either, what he can do. So, you know, I'd like to give you another chance and see that we can do things the right way, and I'm not questioning, again, I'm not worried about the public, I'm not worried about your customers, because I've been there and I know you didn't even know who I was. So I think that was the first time I ever met you. So, conditional license, some of the conditions that Commissioner Oshina has put forward, I would like to agree with that we do take care of the taxes, and the legal part of it, I don't know. So I'm going to vote to approve the license. I will second that vote.
I'd like to.
Well, what's the motion?
So I would move to conditionally approve the application for a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer license of Kenneth G. Fauci of Brothers Auto on a conditional basis that I'm going to amend the motion, I think within 6 months, because I think I don't know how it can be resolved in such a short time. I think 6 months, this issue with the taxes, and to come back before the commission, at least with a status within 90 days, as to whether they're going to entertain entering an agreement with the city to pay back the $32,000, or to pay the $32,000 that's owed. I'm not sure the exact amount, or it's disposed of some fashion within 6 months. But I'd like to see them back within 3 to give us a status regarding that. So I would conditionally approve it on that basis.
Okay, so.
What is the basis again? That he has 6 months to pay it, but you want to see him back here in 90 days? To do what?
So 6 months to resolve the issue with the taxes. And again, the statute provides that he can either pay it in full, enter an agreement, or be disposed of in some fashion within 6 months. And I'd like to see Brothers Auto back in 90 days to report where council is at that. Because again, if it's in court or not, or whatever, we need some type of report on that in the next 90 days.
So on the amended motion, that's an amended motion?
It's an amended motion
I'll
to
second.
conditionally approve it.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
The motion to conditionally approve the license for Brothers Auto is approved. The motion is approved to be reviewed within 90 days and 6 months to come up with some type of a plan to repay or pay whatever taxes are outstanding. So at this point, your license is approved for 90 days. Thank you. Honest.
We can come back with something.
Okay, thank you very much. That concludes that item on the menu, on the agenda. The next item is communications from,
Excuse me, can we pause for 1 moment, please?
I beg your pardon?
Can we pause for 1 moment, please?
Certainly.
I'm sorry.
We'll take a brief recess. Thank you. I'm sorry, there was another late addition to the agenda. Item number 6, the Matola Post is looking for a 1-day license for a cornhole tournament. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Matthew Cunningham, 28 Baldwin Ave, in Everett.
Thank you very much, sir. Can you explain briefly what you'd like to do with this license?
It's a one-day license to host a cornhole tournament, and the reason for the cornhole tournament is the following week on September 17th, we're bringing some of the residents down from the Soldiers Home and doing a barbecue for them, so whatever money we make on the 11th, we're going to put towards the 17th to take care of the guys.
Thank you very much. Any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, it's always a great time, so no, I have no questions.
Very good.
What type of beverages do you plan to serve them?
What's that?
What type of beverages do you plan to serve at this
Just,
tournament?
we do have a liquor license, so I mean, everything's going to stay in plastic cups if you're out playing. Outside of that, if you're inside, all glass bottles will stay inside. All the food's being served right from the post, so we don't have any vendors or
And
anything.
is the area roped off?
Yes, it'll be all cordoned off, and we have volunteers that are going to make sure people ain't wandering off with alcoholic beverages.
Smart question.
Thank you very much. I have no questions. Close this section of the hearing. Any proponents? Anybody want to speak on behalf of it? Seeing and hearing none, close that section. Any opponents? Anybody opposed to the Mottola post? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close that section. Motion and/or discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'd second it.
Very good. Your application for the Cornhole Tournament on September 11th
Yes.
is approved. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you.
The next items are communications. Communication from the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission for a return of no action on the transfer of license from Santa Fe Supermarket Corporation.
When's that next
And that
meeting?
concludes the communications.
21st. Adjourn 21st.
I'll make a motion to adjourn till September 21st.
I'll second the motion.
Very good. The meeting is adjourned.